Yam Brahma Brudendra Rudra Marutaha Stunante Dibbaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Dadgati Namanasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Salutation mantra to Krishna. I salute the Shining One, whose praise is sung in diverse hymns by Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra and Maruts, whose glories are proclaimed by the bards in the verses and chapters of the Vedas, whom the yogis see when their minds are absorbed in contemplation, and whose limit is not known by the hosts of gods and demons. We salute Krishna again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Our topic this morning, Thoughts on the Gita, part 77. We are studying chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. As I always say, there are 18 steps to reach the goal. And those 18 steps are the 18 chapters of the Gita. How Krishna took our minds one step after other and then took us to final chapter that is called liberation. This chapter is called Raja Vidya Raja Gujja Yoga. Raja means supreme, sovereign. It is a sovereign knowledge. We learn Sanskrit English grammar. Positive degree, comparative degree, superlative degree. Great, greater, greatest. That is the way we learn grammar. So this Vidya is Raja Vidya. Positive degree knowledge. What is the knowledge? What is the ordinary knowledge? Knowledge of religion, knowledge of truth, knowledge of this world. That is ordinary knowledge. Second, Atmogyan, Dharmogyan, Atmogyan. Atmogyan is the knowledge of the self, knowledge of the Atman. That is comparative degree. And what is the superlative degree? Paramatma Gyan, knowledge of the Supreme Self. So in this chapter, Krishna wants to tell the knowledge of the Supreme Self to Arjuna. In the very beginning, he said, look, I really like to give this knowledge to you. Do you know why? You are Anasuyave. This knowledge cannot be given to each and all because it will not fructify. It will not take any effect until you have the background. So what is the background? Now, Atapaskaya, the people, those who have not practiced austerity, now Abhaktaya, the person who does not have any devotion for God, then Anasuyave, the people, those who have a lot of jealousy, likes and dislikes, those who see always fault in others, and those who have all the impurities of the mind, this knowledge will not work. Do not talk indiscriminately about me to each and all, because it will not work. I remember a story. Once, before Swami Vivekananda was coming to America, he was in Bombay. And he was not feeling good. Many devotees came. Swami, he asked Swami Turiyananda, why don't you give a talk to these people? They have come to listen to you. So Turiyananda was full of renunciation and full of tremendous spiritual wisdom he had. So he fired top renunciation, give up. Then when the lecture was over, Swamiji was telling Turiyananda, brother, you made a big mistake. Did you not see? They're all family people. They have husband, wife, children, they have all these things. And you gave the monastic teachings to them. It will not work. The teaching which is for the monastic, that teaching is not for the householders. And the teachings which is for the householder, that will not work on the monastics. You will have to teach according to the person. Oh, Swamiji, you are here for that reason. I got inspired, so I fired all renunciation. Hare, you will have to teach seeing the people, those who can digest your teachings. Just see, it is called Odhikari Vad, according to Vedanta. Teach according to that person's capacity to understand. So Krishna was telling Arjuna that I am going to give you the supreme teachings to you. I know you are the right person. You are very truthful, you are very brave, and you are very pure, and you do not have any jealousy and all this fault-finding nature. I shall give to you. In the previous chapter, as you remember, we talked about Krama Mukti, gradual liberation. If you acquire a lot of virtue in this life, you will get gradual, you will go to Brahma Loka. From there, you will get gradual liberation. But here, Shuddha Mukti, here, right now, you will be liberated while you are living. That I want to tell you. I am just giving you a little background of this chapter so that when we shall read, so you know what is in Krishna's mind and why is he talking these things to Arjuna. It is extremely important to know the background. God reveals His true nature out of compassion, out of mercy. Yame Boisha Vrinati Tena Labhya. Kathopanishad says, whom Atman chooses, it reveals itself to that person. You cannot buy or force this knowledge from the teacher. It does not come that way. Out of mercy, out of grace. As we read in the Gita, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Do you know what do? I take your buddhi, intellect, and connect with me so that you can reach me. I do it out of compassion. And you want to see me? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. No. Dadami te dibbam chakshu. I am giving you this divine sight. Dibbo chakhu. Amitamage divine sight. I am giving you divine sight so that you can see my cosmic form. It is out of grace. So we see God out of grace. How to get the grace? That is the question. He will tell us how to get my grace. You know, when this grace dawns in human heart, spiritual life becomes very easy, smooth. You don't have to make any effort. He will do everything for you. He will make your life everything favorable, comfortable. He will remove all of your obstacles during your journey. That He is going to tell you. I shall remove your khawa, pora, food, clothing, all these problems. I shall take care of it. He will tell in this chapter. Sushukam. Sushukam means very easy to reach me. I shall tell all the secret to you in this chapter. Very interesting. We have queer, very strange ideas about God. What is God? I don't know. Some people think he has a form. Some people think he is formless. Sometimes some people think he is with qualities. Sometimes he is devoid of qualities. He is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. We use all these bombastic words. We have no idea. He is all powerful, all merciful, all beautiful. Ramanuja says, Ashesha Kalyana Guna Sampannaha. Ashesha, unlimited Kalyan Gun. Good qualities that we think about God. These are all to give some ideas so that you can visualize, you can think what God is. In this chapter, Krishna is revealing his true nature, his secret. From verses 4 to 10 that we are going to read today, Krishna is talking about his unmanifested form. Abhyakta Murtina. I am that cosmic unmanifested form. And then from 11 to 14, he will tell us about his unmanifested form. He has twofold forms. But Swami, you are confusing us. How God can have two forms? Like magic. He is Nirgun, devoid of qualities, again he is Shagun. He is with form, again he is without form. He is differentiated, again he is undifferentiated. He is unmanifest, again he is manifest. So what is this? We do not understand. God is God. Here you will have to understand this a little bit about Vedanta philosophy. Absolute, relative. Both are true. Your stomach ache is true. Your headache is true. Your pain, your misery, they are true. Again, they are not true. It is not absolutely true. Relatively true. When you take medicine, headache goes away. So it comes and goes. That is called relative. So in this world, we are in a relative plane. These things are really true. My headache, my stomach ache, my family problem, these are all true. At the same time, it is not true. I perceive this world through my senses. I am talking, you are listening. These are all true. But when we go to deep sleep, Swami is gone, Vedanta Society is gone, you are gone. Nothing remains. What is true, always remember, this is a beautiful definition of the absolute truth. Nayayikas define truth, trikalo abadhitattam nitattam. Trikalo, 3 times, abadhito, remains. Thing, that is the truth. The thing which remains in the past, present and future, that is the truth. 500 years ago, St. Louis city did not exist. It is all jungle. Who knows after 1,000 years what will happen to St. Louis city? We do not know. So this, do you know what? There is 2 kinds of truth. Changing truth, unchanging truth. Changing reality, unchanging reality. My stomach ache is changing reality. My headache, changing reality. This whole world is continuously changing. That is the reason they call it Jagat. Jagat comes from the Gam Dhatu. Gachati, Gachati. It goes. Gam Dhatu Shatri. It is in Vyakaran, Sanskrit grammar. Is called Jagat. The thing which goes all the time. Moves. Sun rises in the east, goes to the west. Your body, your mind, your everything is changing. This is called changing reality. And unchanging reality is Brahman. It never changes, your consciousness. The consciousness which you had when you were in the womb of your mother, same consciousness will continue till you die. That consciousness does not change. But your body will change, your mind will change, your intellect will change, your everything will change. But consciousness remains the same. That consciousness is the unchanging reality. Please try to understand this absolute and relative. This is the position of Vedanta. When Krishna says, I have form, that is relative reality. I am formless, absolute reality. God is taking different positions. As Sri Ramakrishna says, water and ice. Same thing. One is solid, another is liquid. And same water sometimes became gaseous. When you boil it, it evaporates. Water is continuously changing the position, same water. That we will have to understand. That is the reason Swami used to say, Madam, see both ways. When you have a stomach ache, say, oh Lord, have mercy on me. When you feel good, say, I am Brahman. See both ways. Very, very interesting. That is the position of Vedanta. No problem. Absolute reality. When we have too much family problem, this, that, do you know how to get consolation? This world is after all made of Maya. Why should I be worried? Just get rid of it. It will go. I remember I had an interview with the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order. He was asking me, do you have any problem? I said, Maharaj, truly speaking, I really do not have personal problem. But I have center's problem, devotee's problem. Then I asked him, Maharaj, how many problems do you have? He looked at me. I am not supposed to ask that type of question to such a senior sadhu. Then he said, you really want to know my problems? Yes. Every day, I am the General Secretary. Every day I open the mail. I get 30 to 35 problems. All the monks and different institutions, all the organizations, I have 30 to 35 problems every day I get by mail. I'm going to tell me, how do you solve? He smiled at me and said, Master solves the problem. And time solves some problems. Don't do anything. Wait. Swami Brahmananda used to say, wait 3 days. Do not make any decision. Time solves many problems. I still remember. That is the reason Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Satyasya Satyam. It is the truth of the truth. Your family problem, this physical problem, these are true. But this Brahman is the truth of the truth, is the ultimate truth, ultimate reality. This you will have to understand through Mayabad. Rope is the truth, but due to darkness, I see snake. Snake is also true. My mind says it is a snake. But when true knowledge comes, light comes, I see rope as a rope. Rope never becomes the snake. So this absolute, this relative world you see, it is all projection of Maya. Maya has two powers, veiling power or projecting power. Veiling power means it will just cover your face. And then I shall project who is he, who is she. That is the way it works. Anyhow, I just gave you a brief description what we are going to study in this 9th chapter. We finished 3 verses now, second 2 verses, now the 3rd verse. Ashraddhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapyaman Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. Persons without Shraddha or faith in this Dharma return, O scorcher of foes, without attaining me, to the path of rebirth, fraught with death. Ashraddhana, the person who does not have any Shraddha. Swamiji did not translate the word Shraddha in English. There is no synonymous word in English. Sometimes we translate Shraddha means faith. No. Shraddha has faith, sincerity, bravery, steadiness, love, various ideas mixed together form the word Shraddha. Ashraddhana, the people do not have any Shraddha. Oisya dharmaisya, about this truth, about this religion. Do you know what? They cannot reach me. What is the result? Mrityu samsara vartmani. They recycle from birth to death, death to birth, birth to death, death to birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again born, again die. Unending. Death. If you are born, birth is, Buddha says, misery, disease, death. It will continue. Today, do you know what I was watching? I opened the newspaper and I watched the funeral notices. And I saw 28 faces, I counted. And 27 faces are all smiling. I was thinking death should not be very painful, otherwise I would not see those smiling faces. Only one person with a hat, a little, not smiling, but all other old men, women, whatever forms are there, if you can count to the newspaper, 28 faces, they are all smiling. Which is not. If you see, perhaps at the time of death, you will see something different. Swami, what is wrong to be born? There is nothing wrong to be born. Upanishad says, Mahoti Vinoshti. It is a great disaster that having this wonderful human body, you did not try to realize God. Mahoti Vinoshti. Because you will be recycled. Again you will have to be born. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Jaggavalka told Gargi, Etad Vaksharesya Abhiditva Asmat Lokat Puraiti Sakripanaha. Listen, Gargi. Those who leave this world without knowing the Sakshat Brahman, without God, they are wretched. Do you know why are they wretched? You got a great opportunity. We should appreciate our parents, those who gave our bodies, so that we can get a chance to realize God in this very life, so that we will not have to be recycled again. Only this self-knowledge is possible through human body. It is karma bhumi. It is a field of action. Heaven, bhoga bhumi, place for enjoyment. The netherworld, bhoga bhumi. Only this earth in human body, you can change. Change. I remember once I was listening to a television talk in what is called Crystal Cathedral there, the power of prayer or something like that. That one black man, he was a minister, African American. He gave a beautiful speech. His topic was change. Change yourself. Then he gave a an example in Hollywood movies. Do you know what do they do? Perhaps you are a script writer, movie script writer. He is the producer. He took your script, he selected who will be the actors and actresses. Then shooting begins, and he said, no, it is not working. Cut. Change. Again, another section, shooting began. It is not working. Cut. Change. In this way, he said, when you see a movie, you do not know how many cuts and how many changes are there. But we average movies, they waste $25 to $30 million. $25 to $30 million will be spent just to change. And if you are an egotistic person, no, I am a scriptwriter, I won't allow to change my movie. Do you know what will happen? Your movie will not be produced. You must change. That is called a spiritual life. You must change. It is beautiful. Mrityu samsara vartmani. You will take the path of death. Another thing is Shraddha. I remember one Swami used to tell us, if you respect, you will be respected. What you will project, that thing will come back to you. Always try to be respectful to people, whoever he or she may be. Pay respect. That is a beautiful word. Ashraddhana. Next verse. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abhyaktamurtina matstani sarvani bhutani nachaham teshu avastita. There are 4 confusing words we shall learn right now from Krishna. I am just cautioning you. Very confusing. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhyakta murtina. All this word is pervaded by me in my unmanifested form. All beings exist in me, but I do not dwell exclusively any one of them. This whole world is pervaded by that cosmic consciousness, Brahman. When Krishna says Maya, not that Krishna, that son of Devaki, at that time he is telling, I am that supreme Brahman. I pervades everything. All beings exist in me, but I do not dwell in them. Confusing. Very confusing. Example, ocean. Inside the ocean, innumerable fish, mammals, sharks, dolphins, so many things in the ocean, James, weeds, so many things are in the ocean. Abhyaktaman, all these beings are inside me. I am that cosmic ocean of consciousness. All these beings inside me. But I do not belong to them. I can live without them. If there is no fish, no mammals in this, still I exist. Try to understand this way. This Jeev Jagat. Try to visualize this way. Here is Brahman, pure consciousness. The Brahman with its Maya Shakti, that he will say, Pashyame Yogamoisharam, see my power of yoga and power of Maya. Do you know what? I am Brahman, I become God. When I am with my Maya power. At that time, I am Srishti Sthiti Layo Karta. I am the creator, preserver, destroyer of this universe. That is the manifestation of Sattva Guna. Again, same Brahman becomes Jivas, all these human beings through the Rajaguna, Rajas. Same Brahman manifested in Tamas, these trees, plants, mountains, ocean, carpet, tree, chair, everything. So, Sattva-guna manifestation is God, Rajaguna, living beings, birds, beasts, human beings, and Tamoguna is dead, dull, insentient matter. So, Brahman is manifesting in this way. Please, it's just very clear. Same Brahman, it is Brahman. Less manifestation of consciousness, more manifestation of consciousness. And Ishvara, more manifestation of consciousness. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna used to say, ঈশ্বর সবই হয়েছেন তবে মানুষেই তিনি বেশি প্রকাশ. God has become everything, but He manifested maximum in human beings. Do you know why? Because you have buddhi, you have intellect, you have mind, you have the power of discrimination. That is very important and special. You have very special attributes which animal beings do not have. Dharme nahina poshubi shamana. If you do not have dharma, if you do not have this knowledge, you are like animals. You eat, they eat. You sleep, they sleep. You beget children, they beget children. You have fear, they have fear. There is no difference between man and animals. Only in one respect, there is difference. You can practice dharma, you can attain knowledge, but they cannot. I am in this universe, but I am above the universe. I am that supreme. I am pervading this entire universe, Maya. This manifested universe is, in its entirety is pervaded by myself. Pervaded by that infinite pure consciousness. You may ask this question, is the solar system pervaded by some background material? Even according to modern cosmology, that background material which exploded and became the universe, that material is still there in this universe. The universe is pervaded by that material which was there. If it was not there, then it would not be here also. What is not in the cause cannot appear in the effect. Something cannot come from nothing. Only from something can something come. So in this way, our teachers discovered this truth, that the whole world has come from Brahman, of the nature of pure, infinite consciousness. He is the inner self of everything. Let me explain a little bit more so that it will be clear to you. According to Vedanta, Brahman is the final cause. But Swami, what is the final cause? There are two things, Upadan Karan, Nimitta Karan. Material cause and efficient cause. Let me give an example. You have seen a potter. He is seated there. Here is the potter's wheel. He puts clay on the potter, on the wheel. His mind says, today I shall make cups. Immediately his finger take up the cups. Today I shall make plate. Today I shall make flower vase. Whatever comes to his mind, immediately his finger goes there and he gives shape. The wheel is continuously rotating and the clay is taking shape according to the mind of the potter. So potter is the efficient cause and clay is the material cause. Brahman is both. How is it possible? subject and object become one. That is a great mystery. In the corner you can see a cobweb. How does the cobweb come? From the spiders, the saliva or whatever we may be. The cobweb comes from the body of the spider, and he makes a cobweb, and there he catches, eats prey, some of the mosquitoes or bird or anything that he eats, the spider. So Brahman is just like that spider. The whole thing came out of his own body, and he can absorb it. Abhinna upadan nimitta karan. Brahman is the efficient cause and the material cause of the universe. He is the subject, he is the object. He is your body, he is your mind, he is your consciousness, he is everything. Why? Ekameva dvitiyam, I am one without a second. I am telling you these things, do you know what? So that you may not get confused. You can reconcile when Krishna is telling, all this universe is, I am pervaded in everything, but again I am separate. We see the potter and the clay, they are two separate things. And again, from the absolute standpoint, there is only one. Ramakrishna gave a beautiful example. He said, when you go to the top of the Octorloni monument in Calcutta, you see everything is flat. But there are some high-rise building, small-rise building, ground, all these things there. When you go in the perhaps 37,000 feet above, in the plain, you see that whole thing is flat. But there is high mountain, low mountain, this, that. I remember when the plane lands in Lombardy Airport, I see, this arch and all those things, and looks more or less similar, it comes. It looks flat. So, Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam. What is called? That is. The two forms of the Lord, the manifested and the unmanifested, have been described in the 7th chapter of the Gita. The illusory and unreal world appears to be real and tangible on account of the reality of the Lord from its substratum. No change can be perceived without the background of changelessness. The illusion of a mirage is not seen without the background of the desert. The continuity in a moving picture cannot be perceived without the background of the unmoving screen. It is the fixed screen that makes the separate and disjoint pictures appear as a continuous story. Likewise, the presence of the Lord as the immutable consciousness creates the appearance of continuity, history in an ever-changing illusory universe. We go to the movie house, we see the screen is always there. From the projector, film rotates and boom, 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 picture goes away. Sometimes there is fire. You go, there is no fire there on the screen. Heavy rainfall, you see, illusion. You touch it, the screen is not wet. That is called Maya. The Brahman is that screen. And this world, Maya is projecting continuously on that screen. Your Atman, your consciousness, on that consciousness, all these things are projecting. I am man, I am woman, I am learned, I am not, I am rich. All these projections are coming on that screen. If he, as existent, did not form the basis of the universe, nothing would be perceived to exist. Therefore, all existence, entities are pervaded by the Lord's existence, which itself is imperceptible to the senses. A thing devoid of inner reality cannot exist or be an object of experience. The Lord is the inner reality of everything. The reality of the Lord makes real everything in the world. But the reality of the Lord does not depend upon the world. He always exists. whether the universe of name and form exists or not. The Lord is incorporeal and therefore has no real contact with the material world. He cannot contain in any object. He is self-existent and self-luminous. Only a fraction of His majesty illumines the sun, the moon, and the universe, but He Himself is His purest essence, is transcendental. This question arose in Chandogya Upanishad. Narad asked, Acha, where is the Brahman exist? She Mohimni, in his own glory. Naba, may not be. You cannot express. Is She Mohimni, in his own glory, pristine glory. Brahman is the substratum of all this Jeev Jagat universe. You know, when we think about this cosmic stage of Brahman, we get dizzy. One day Sri Ramakrishna was explaining this Brahman to Girish. Girish says, Sir, don't go further. I am too dizzy. I cannot comprehend it. It is for that reason we need avatar. We can communicate. Otherwise, God says, cosmic form, one eye is the sun, another and one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon. We cannot think of it. We get deluded, we get puzzled. The cosmic form of God. So we need avatar. I shall tell you that what are the four dilemmas. Next we go to the next verse. Nacha matsthani bhutani pashyame yogamishwaram bhuta bhrit nacha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavana. Not do beings exist in me in reality. Behold my divine yoga, bringing forth the supporting the beings. Myself does not dwell in them. Pasya nacha matsthani bhutani. These beings do not exist in me. This is my power of yoga, maya. At the same time, I am bhuta bhrit, bhuta bhavana. I support all beings. I take care of all these beings. Mamatma, bhutastha. But myself does not dwell in them. I am asanga, unattached. So we have four dilemmas. Look how these dilemmas can be solved. First he says, Maya tatamidam sarvam. This universe is pervaded by me. This is the truth. There is no untruth. This whole universe is pervaded by Brahman. That is absolutely true. At that time, Tini Bhuma. He is that cosmic being. As I told you, God is changing position. Sometimes Brahman, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Virat, he is changing position. It is one position of God. I am Brahman, pervading everything. That is absolutely true. Second, Matsani Sarva Bhutani, all beings exist in me. That is absolutely true. At that time, God is the Upadan Karan, efficient cause of the universe. All these bodies are God's bodies. All this universe, that is the way Vaishnavas thinks. This whole world is the body of God. God is the Upadan Karan, manifested form. This whole universe is the manifested form of God. That is true. I am pervading everything. That is true. I am manifested in all these Jeev Jagat, universe and beings. That is true. The third, Nacha Matsthani Bhutani. In reality, no beings exist in me. Confusing. At this moment you say all beings in me and now it doesn't exist in me. Do you know why? I am Nirgun, Nirakar, Aditya. I am one without a second. Asanga, unattached, without qualities, without form. I am that absolute. In that absolute, there is no reality. There is no relative. So that is my absolute form. Don't get confused. I am, that is also the truth. All these beings, actually, it is all Maya, show, my magic. They are absolutely, my absolute state, they do not live in me. If there is no fish, no mammals, no shark, no nothing in the ocean, ocean exists. That is the position. Based before creation. Next, bhuta bhrit nacha bhutastu. Myself does not dwell in them, though my spirit is the support and source of them. At that time, I am the nimitta karma, I am the potter. I am making. You are different from me. I made your body, but I am separate, your body is separate. These four things, sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes, what does it say so? What does it say so? If you have a little Vedantic background, then you can understand what he is talking about. Absolute relative. That is the reason before the lecture I talked to you about absolute relative. And some people get confused. But this is the way we should try to understand. The infinite Lord cannot be contained in a finite universe. But why cannot the universe and his beings dwell in him? The Lord in reality is neither the container nor the contained. In him there is not the slightest trace of duality. In his present essence, he is above the law of cause and effect. In the final realization, the object and the subject become one. That is I tell you frankly, when you meditate, practice this one. Do you know what is this? At that time, the mind becomes the subject, the mind becomes the object. You stop all thought waves of the mind. At that time, the mind will still. The moment mind becomes still, you will see your mind. Only is there, you are watching your own mind. At that time, you become one with your mind. Mind becomes the subject, mind becomes the object. That he is talking about. Cause the final object and become one. The whole universe merges in the Lord. In that state, the Lord remains as one without a second, a homogeneous concentration of consciousness. The concept of container and contain, cause and effect apply to the realm of manifestation or Maya. Even though the Lord manifests through Maya, the tangible relative universe, and appears to be its cause and support, yet he is always one and without a second, transcendental, incorporeal, and unattached. This is his eternal mystery. I hope I did not confuse you, but I am just telling you that how to look at this. God created me. God is within me. But there, God's infinite nature did not end. He is infinite. If you read the Purusha Suktam, Padoisya Vishwabhutani Tripadoisya Amritam Divi, 1/4 of that cosmic Brahman has become manifested in this world and beings. 3/4 unmanifest. I remember in Vedanta class we asked Swami, what is wrong if whole Brahman is manifested? Oh, then on in moksha prasanga, then there will be no liberation. Brahman will be all in Maya. Myself sustains all beings, yet I am not caught up in any one of them. I am the one that nourishes and cherishes all the beings in this universe. The more subtle the reality, the more will these characteristics become manifest. The more grows the reality, it cannot reveal the characteristics. For example, this physical body can be only in one location. It cannot be in two locations. The grosser the thing, the more is it limited by space and time. The subtler thing, it transcends that limitation. Pashyame yogamesharam. See my power, my power. I am one, I have become many. I created this whole universe, even I can absorb them all at any moment. It is all play of my magic. Really, it is whole world is my in Chetanananda Upanishad, it is called Jalavanisha. God is a great magician. Magic. Honorable Swami used to tell that story. You bought a ticket, paying $50, and here is a magician. The magician came and will show you, here I put a young girl and in a box, and I have a chainsaw, and I cut that box into two pieces. And you are watching minutely. The girl entered the box. With a powerful chainsaw, he cut it. Two boxes, he put the two boxes out. The girl was not there. After 3 minutes, the girl comes from the back. Hi, I am here. You know that girl will not be caught, but you paid $50. You wanted to see the magic. That is happening. Recently, somebody sent me some illusions through the internet. It is called. It is very interesting that one man is putting in the, and made a pigeon, then pulling there another pigeon. 4 pigeons he put in a cage, then he put a cloth, and then he lifted the cloth, one young girl came out. Magic! So, this world is God is a great magician and we are all playing. Another verse I must cover. Krishna is giving an example that perhaps you got confused. I explained to you that these 2 verses. These 4 apparent contradictory words, but all 4 are true. You will have to understand God's position and the perspective. Sometimes infinite, sometimes He is finite. Sometimes He is the creature, sometimes He is the absolute pure consciousness, no form. Yatha kasho sthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan tata sarvani bhutani matsani iti upadharaya. As the mighty air moving always everywhere rests ever in the akasha or space, even so, do understand that all beings rest in me. Air is there in the atmosphere. Wherever you search, you find air. Similarly, in religion, what do you have to go here and there or far away to see God? Wherever you are, the divine is there, just like oxygen. Wherever you are, you can develop the scientific mind. It is not like telling, I want to go there to breathe oxygen. Oxygen is here also. Just breathe, that is all. In the same way, that akasha is all pervading, all containing, in which the vayu, the air, which is sarvatrago mahan, always moving everywhere, immense in range, rests, probably moving everywhere, and immense in range rests. Probably for a few 100 miles above the earth, we find air, though thinner and less dense it becomes as you go higher up and very dense at lower levels. Anyhow, he was talking about air is everywhere. But here is heavy. 37,000 feet jet stream, air is light, so that the jet plane can take speed. When it is 57,000 feet, I remember Concorde would fly 1500 miles per hour. 37,000 feet, it can fly only maybe 600 miles per hour. It depends upon the heaviness of the air. You see how you change it. If 4,000-5,000 feet, it will not take much speed at all, because here air is heavy. So he is talking about air is everywhere. So Brahman, that consciousness is everywhere. Not that, in California there is a good air and Los Angeles, in St. Louis there is no air. Don't think that way. Air is all pervading. Like he is talking about that, like this, as air, the container and the contained. The space is the container, air is the contained. So I am the container, this whole universe is contained. That he just gave an example. This is the way Arjuna tried to understand that who am I? I am the substratum of whole universe. Then he will take, he is talking about Abhukta Murti, his unmanifested form he is explaining to us. Then he will go to Bhakta, when he will take a form, what I do. I become very human. I feel my devotees. Those devotees serve me, I serve them. I tell them how to worship me. Not only that, I take care of their food, their necessities, everything. And name bhakta pranashati. They may do any sinful act, but my devotee never perishes. That is God's promise to humankind. Na me bhakta pranashati. My devotee never perishes. I take care of them. At that time he is very human, God with form. And here is God without form. He is talking about, this is my Abhukta Murti, unmanifest form. Look, I am the substratum behind everything. Anyhow, I hope I did not confuse you, but we'll have to understand step by step. Just one shloka is not enough. Step by step we'll have to move. Thank you very much. Tameva mata cha pita tameva bandhusya sakha tameva vidya dravinam tameva sarvam mama deva deva. O Lord, thou art my mother, thou art my father, thou art my friend, thou art my companion, thou art my wealth, thou art my learning, thou art my all in all, O Lord. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.